In Unit 13, we deal with theory of green taxation. Students of economics need to understand a bit of taxation, how this taxation policy can be useful in achieving the green targets. Taxation first raises revenue from governments to spend on public goods and services or to redistribute to bring about a more equal society. Secondly, it offers policymakers a chance to influence the behavior, encouraging what we see as beneficial and discouraging what they consider as destructive. So, green economists refer this as shifting of the burden of taxation from goods like employment on bads like pollution. For example, taxes on cigarettes raise the price of cigarettes and reduce the level of smoking and also reduce the level of spending to treat people suffering health consequences of smoking. An example is the plastic bag tax in Ireland, which was intended to generate revenue for environmental fund. The key point for a green economist is that taxation should be used primarily as an important tool to move us towards sustainable economy. The theory of green taxation is informed by principles of green economics, namely sustainability, equity, and genuine economic efficiency. They aim at greater equity within society. Green economists are deeply concerned about the wide and growing inequality both within developed economies and between them and the poorer economies of the South. Wealth should be redistributed in developed economies through a range of taxes, most fundamental of which is tax on high incomes earners. There is also strategic taxation. It is clear that for green economists, one of the key strategic aims of fiscal policy is to ensure that activities beneficial towards the environment are encouraged while those that are detrimental are discouraged. The share of UK's wealth owned by different sectors of the population, you can see 1% of the most wealthy population owning 29% of the wealth in 1976, which is increased to 34% in 2003. While 50% of the wealthy population owned 88% of wealth in 1976, which is increased to 99% in 2003. We also need to understand taxes on commons. According to James Robertson, common resources are resources whose value is due to nature and to the activities and demands of society as a whole and not to the efforts of or skill of individual people or organizations. Some of the examples of taxes on commons: such a tax would provide a strong incentive for both business and individuals to reduce their energy consumption, their driving, and to switch off non-fossil fuels, heating as well as renewable electricity supply. There is also eco-taxes. Eco-taxes have twin aims: to discourage pollution and to change behavior, especially behavior that led to the unsustainable use of non-renewable resources. For example, Irish tax on plastic bags, which we have discussed earlier. Eco-taxes, this table very clearly demonstrate different eco-taxes. For example, eco-taxes on energy, eco-taxes on water, eco-taxes on transport, and eco-taxes on wastage. There are several examples of eco-taxes on different aspects or different products. Also, the next table gives the examples of eco-taxes in the country context. In the countries like Denmark, Ireland, Netherlands, Sweden, UK, they have developed this eco-tax long back, and they are trying to control environmental pollution, etc. through these eco-taxes. In this table, we can see the revenue from environmental taxes as collected in UK in the period 1993 to 2006. Different categories of environmental taxes where revenue has been collected, and in several years the amount of revenue based on these different taxes are increasing over the period of time in United Kingdom. In this graph you can see very clearly that eco-taxes in different countries, what is the percentage of revenue contributed in different countries. These countries are Finland, Germany, Japan, Norway, Sweden, UK and USA.